If you have ever wanted to start or grow a business, get clients, sell your services, even build a waitlist, or do literally anything to make money on your own terms, this video is going to show you how to build an entire website, which could be your landing page, your launch page, your sales page, for completely free. It is a simple 5-step process that anybody can do right now, purely with a free Notion account. It's also so quick and easy that I guarantee you will be able to do this in less time than it takes you to really understand what the difference is between Squarespace, Wix, Lovable, or any of the other products out there that are charging you either huge yearly fees or recurring monthly costs. I'm Gina. I spent the last 20 years building startups, and I've built this channel to help anybody with an idea go from simply starting out properly, taking those first steps, and getting yourself set up with proper systems, processes, storytelling, and the right focus to get your first customers all the way to 100K. I've seen a lot of people with excellent ideas and excellent skills waste time, effort, and money building the perfect website, when in reality, when you are starting out, what you need to focus on is doing things properly, but for as little risk, time, effort, and cost as possible. When you're just starting out, you definitely don't need to employ a web design agency or buy a product that makes you go back and forth perfecting what it looks like. All you need to do is exactly as I'm going to teach you. Get a page live on the internet that anyone can land on and anyone can interact with and anyone can understand. Now, creating a web presence for completely free might sound impossible, but it's possible because of Notion. And Notion is the tool that I talk about a lot on this channel. So if you are a Notion fan or want to learn more, do subscribe. But Notion has lowered the barrier of entry for startups, people with ideas, people wanting to make their own money, more than any other tool available out there. Through Notion, you can build an entire business operating system. I've done that hard work for you, but Notion is so powerful and completely free. It actually has over 100 million users, but I guarantee that less than 10% of people will use Notion for its full advantage. So subscribe and be in that 10%. Now, what we're going to do together today is build a landing page that is hugely convertible for your product, skill, expertise, your brand, or your idea at this point. This page uses 5 sections that not only create that web presence, but they actually convert your web traffic into leads. It's also a very simple 5-step build. And steps 3 and 5 are the most important and the ones that nobody ever knows about or really uses. In fact, I'm going to show you number 3 first because it really feels like you're cheating the system by having the exact same capabilities as MailChimp Pro or MailerLite paid plan. So we'll go a little bit out of order, but let's jump in number 3 just to show you how powerful this free tool is. So first things first, we're going to open Notion to a new page and we're going to create a form. Notion forms are incredibly powerful and so easy to use. All you need to do is build your form as you would a Google Forms, a Typeform, a database. Keep it super simple. You basically just need someone's email and their name. The simpler, the easier it is for people to fill in. Now we're going to click here and turn this into a form that can be shared online. We can manipulate this in any way that we want. This is all on the free version. If you have Page, you can change all the branding and the colors, but you can add in any sections you want, any questions you want to ask as part of your information gathering for your leads. All we do now is we click these buttons and we publish it live. You can see when we click through to this live site, this is now out there on the World Wide Web. Free of charge, no domain cost. Anybody in the world can click on this. If there is only one thing to take from this video, take the fact that this process has completely nullified the reason to have anything like Typeform, anything like Google Forms, because we now have a form live on the internet for anybody in the world to enter their information for completely free. But not only that, even more impressive than Google Forms, Typeform, any other tool you would likely pay for, anybody who enters their information into this form goes directly into your database, which is then part of your workflow. Having this form live and published for completely free, and having that information come into a database that is set up as your CRM, as your Kanban board, is priceless and negates any need for automation or third-party tools that paying for a program that does this actually costs. And just a quick pause to how important it is when you are just starting out and getting your first customers. Having somewhere to collect people's information and keep them warm and talk to them is huge. Having a fancy logo and a fancy website is not. These are all things that are distracting, the vanity things of starting an idea. If you want to discard everything that's vanity and costly and actually learn how to build a business from the beginning properly, do subscribe because that's what I'm here to teach you. Okay, so form aside for now, but that is my favorite step, step 3. Let's go back to the beginning of how you start building this website for free. Now we're going to go back into our free Notion and create a new page. You can add branding with your header. you can have your own name on it, but this page is going to have 5 simple sections that will help you convert your traffic. Section 1, this is your above the fold. Section 2 is what you get. Section 3 is your email capture section. Section 4 is our objections and FAQs, and section 5 is our proof. If you're watching this and you already have a Squarespace website and you've already paid for this, then I'm sorry you didn't find me earlier, but still follow this structure for your landing page because it is the only one that really converts people. So let me take you through it and how you build it out in Notion. Now, our first section is our above the line, and this is where a lot of people kill the conversation before it even starts. They put up something fancy, something pretty, something that's a bit waffly around their business. This above the fold section has a few blocks within it that we create in Notion literally by having text blocks. All we need to do for this is slash to get our heading options, or I like to design a bit more by having slash call out and putting our information into these pockets. Notion is already formatted for this as well. Within this top block, we want to have a headline and a subheadline. That is slash heading 1 and slash heading 2. Your headline is going to be the outcome. The first thing people see is going to be the outcome of interacting with you. So for example, my headline would be, build a landing page for free and get leads today. That's it. It's the outcome people get. Nothing about you as a brand. The subheading is who is it for? Creators, freelancers, people who want to start their own business. The next block within this next section is going to be your CTA. One clear CTA. Get your free template. The next block, block 4, is going to be a mini trust block. And this can just be a call out or a free text. This micro trust is something very quick, such as I use this with my current clients. So easy, you can do it in 5 steps. Something that shows it's easy, it's well thought out, you're a thought leader, a little bit of trust. And this top section is so important, and often you see people just have one section on their website. That's because you're actually not trying to impress anyone with your website. People see past the colors, the logos, the branding. You are just trying to get them to take one action. By giving one clear outcome, letting them know they're in the right place, and then one clear action, you cut through the time wasting and generate more leads and ultimately more customers. Okay, so that is the top bit. And as I say, most people can get enticed from that. But let's keep going through these sections, which add even more power to this page for completely free. Now, step 2 is where we actually make the offer so clear that it's kind of painful. You are going to tell people exactly what happens when they click your CTA button. Literally, click button for your free Notion template. Make it so clear what they are going to get and what is going to happen that even a 3-year-old could understand it. If you have ever had anyone land on your page and leave, it's not because they're not interested, because they have found you. So they have that interest already. The reason they've left or bounced is sometimes because you didn't make the next step super obvious. And we have a fear of the unknown. This section makes it impossible to misunderstand what's coming next and also why it helps them. And the next section we're going to move into also supports people not leaving. And that's your objections and FAQs. So this is where we continue to mitigate against bounce rate, people leaving your website. Again, people don't leave websites because they don't like you and they don't like your branding or your pictures. They leave websites because they don't understand them. Being super clear in the layout and the copy we've done helps people to understand. But another reason why they might not understand and they might want to leave is because there's questions that are unanswered. Adding in this section, formed as frequently asked questions, addresses any questions they might have in their head that would make them think that they are not satisfied and have to leave. So what I want you to do for this step is really think about any objections people might have or any questions they might ask and add them to this section so that if people are wanting to leave because there's something that's unanswered, the likelihood of it being answered is higher and the likelihood of them staying is better. For this, we can use a toggle section. So we will put in the questions that we think people will have and give them the answers up front. Literally think of anything that you think anyone has ever thought that might stop them buying and add them in here. Things like, do I need Notion expertise? Will it replace Squarespace? Put as much information in here for the people who are critical to not leave with anything unanswered. Okay, the next step and section is proof. Answering everyone's questions help reduce bounce rate and increase conversion, and proof really brings it home. Add in a short validation support section. So things like why you're an expert, what else you have done, any testimonials if you have them. But this not only proves validation, but it also reminds them after they've gone through those FAQs how much you can actually help them get to the outcome that you told them in the first section. Now we're going to go on and get the link of the form that we created in the first step. And we're going to go to where we had our CTA and we're going to create a slash button. And now this is life-changing. This is basically automation for free. and it takes our Notion page into a living, breathing, lead capturing website. So once we've got this button block, we are going to grab our URL of that form we made in step 3 at the beginning, and we can add an action to our formula so that when someone clicks this button, it will open your form page where they can consequently give you their email and information straight into your workflow, straight into your leads, and into your customers. We can now play around with this, make it look nice, change some of the colors. You can even have videos in your Notion page. Everything you create in a page can be published to the web for free. It is so valuable that there are even some big companies who use Notion as their main website. And then head up here to publish. That is now live. You are now live on the World Wide Web. You are a brand that has a website for completely free. Send this URL to your friends, put it on your socials. Now, when people land on your page, they will have all the information they need to be guided through, click your button, and give you their details for completely free. Now, I hear you say that Squarespace is better and more responsive, but when you are starting out, you want to minimize your risk and your cost. I cannot repeat this anymore. When you are first starting your business, you want to make sure that you are focusing on the things that drive your business forward. That is your offer, your systems, your storytelling. It is not how much you have paid a designer or your recurring contract with Squarespace. Using Notion for your free web presence and collecting your leads is the best way to start up when you are building something for yourself. If you are looking to build your own business, whether that is a side hustle, whether that is as a creator, a freelancer, a product owner, subscribe and join me as I help you get to your first 100K.